Hey kids, do you have issues with your third and fourth fingers not behaving? I refer to the third and fourth fingers of my left hand as the redheaded stepchildren of my left hand, the uneducated fingers. They have not gone to the academy of brushing teeth or eating food or any of those things, tying shoes. They have not done any of these things. They're pretty useless at the keyboard. Not really. I guess that's the one school they did go to. Martha Maples or whatever it was. Wait, that's not who it was. Okay, so this is a funky little exercise I ran into on the interwebs about gaining some fourth finger and third finger independence, pinky and ring finger, if you prefer those terms, which I do. So, hey, you can do this on any strings, but I like to do it on the B and G string because then it doesn't sound completely amusical. So, what you're gonna do is this. Okay, wow, sounds great. Doesn't sound too hard. Sounds pretty easy, right? Okay, but here's the trick. What you're gonna do is put your first finger at the whateverth fret of the third string, and then put your first finger, and then put your third finger 2 frets higher on the same string, and then put your second finger on the next higher string, right? The next smaller one, and then put your fourth finger on the next smaller one as well. So you've got 2 fingers on each string, like so. And then you're gonna practice just releasing the finger and then putting it back. Now that's the trick. The trick is don't pull the finger away. Just let it go. That's the trick. That's what makes it hard. And so you have to go slowly and have patience. And, you know, don't attempt this when you're tired or cranky or hungry or any of that stuff. You know, don't attempt it after that 50th attempt at Flight of the Bumblebee and it's not working out. No, not then. Maybe earlier in the day, probably before you've had too much coffee. Okay, let me show you this thing again. So, something like this. Now, I noticed that when I do this, and quite honestly, I don't feel like the independence of my third and fourth fingers is good enough because, as I said, they haven't received a proper education, the importance of education. Okay, so I find that my third and fourth fingers, when I do this, let's look at the third finger. When I release it, if I focus on, breathe, it actually extends a little bit, like that. If I exaggerate it, rather than flexing, and I had to take some time and be patient, and pay attention to that feeling. The fourth finger feels a little sticky right now, to be candid, and it's just because I'm going too fast. And there it is. It feels more relaxed now. Sometimes you'll feel it like when I let it go, kind of going towards that finger. And that's a good first step for this exercise. The other thing that you can do is you can reverse the fingers. So you can hold these two, the first and third fingers, and then you can put the second and fourth fingers above them. See that? So you can change the orientation of the fingers to each other. So, and it's just a slightly different challenge, and you may want to pay attention to that too. And then there might be some other ways to play with that as well. Good luck with your third and fourth fingers. Everyone deserves an education.